But the question someone would say, Janet, who cares about this? I've just finished eating a good meal, and I just want
yam with goat's meat.
So guess what?
And I got to pick my teeth.
Whatever you do in the confines of your home is absolutely perfect to you. But whatever you do in the public, so imagine you are out with some VIP clients and you're representing your organization and you begin to flicker your tooth with a toothpick in the presence of your VIP clients. Just imagine the image that you're creating. You're actually letting your organization down because the image they have of you is one of, don't you even see that we're around us? You're literally flicking that thing on us. And honestly, those are things that can actually make or break a business relationship. So you have to be mindful, not because you can't do what you want to do, but there's some things that you're mindful of what you do simply because you are representing. You are the face of your organization in a business setting. And if you're an entrepreneur as well, you don't want people to know you as, maybe you represent your organization, you're in government, for instance. You're busy flicking your teeth, cameras will catch it. And even if you don't care about it, other people will notice it and they will complain about it. So you have to be mindful when you're in the public eye, I would say, okay? And toothpicks are very hazardous too. Even when you keep it in your mouth, okay, and you're walking about the place, it's hazardous. So you have to, that's why I said health, hygiene, and safety. When you keep it in your mouth, anything can happen. So you have to be very mindful. It's dangerous as well. So you don't want to keep it in your mouth, even though it's habitual. Take it out. Apart from the fact that it doesn't look good, it is definitely dangerous, So imagine you're doing that and your son picks up a toothpick and says, Daddy does this. And he's busy copying with a toothpick.
Oh, no.
So you have to be mindful what you do, even in the presence of your kids. Yeah? Okay.
Oh dear.
Like I said before, most times go for one that is wrapped. If you're at a party, okay, and they're giving you cocktails, and you take a toothpick, you take something that has been done with a toothpick, okay, when you're going again for that cocktail or whatever it is, don't take the one that you've just finished using and pick something else with that. Discard that and take a fresh one with a fresh toothpick. What else was I going to say? The truth is, if you don't want to have widened gaps in your teeth, definitely go for the plastic ones. And nowadays, you see more and more people going for the plastic ones. And you see them. Some ladies keep them in their purses and places, in their wallets. That's an ideal thing to do, actually, for hygiene. Really for hygiene now. Because sometimes, some people have said, and I don't know if it is true, how some people recycle. So you need to be mindful of recycling.
I had a joke one time of a house help that they were like wondering, what happened to the toothpicks? And they were like, I don't know what happened. What do you mean you don't know what happened? We left you in the house. Daddy, I don't know, because anytime I use the toothpick, I always put it back.
Oh, no.
It turns out that
And you know how sometimes, this does happen in some places where you're trying to shake the toothpick out. So you have a shaker. You're trying to shake it out, and somehow the lid falls off and they all fall on the floor. They pick them up and they put them back in again.
Yeah.
So we need to be very mindful when it comes to toothpicks. I would say enjoy your meal. Always enjoy your meal. If you have to use a toothpick, use a toothpick, but when necessary. And use your toothpick with caution. Always use it with caution.
Okay.
But then if I were going to ask you, if you had a toothpick in your hand, how would you typically use a toothpick?
What kind of toothpick?
Anyone. So let's say you had a wooden toothpick in your hand. Would you open up your whole jaws? Would you cover it up? Does it depend on whether it's the upper layer or the lower layer? Would you open up all your mouth? How would you use a toothpick? Because that's it. It's really not decent. So how would you?
That's if you use toothpick.
So
Some people...
you have a toothpick in your hand.
You had to give me this one, right?
So you have a toothpick in your hand.
Okay.
Because a lot of people are unconscious of how they use a toothpick. So, okay, yeah. There you go. So you're at a party. Okay, you're well dressed.
There's no need to open your mouth to use a toothpick.
But then how does that make you look?
Playful.
Untidy.
There you go. There you go. So then some people realize, okay, this doesn't look nice. And then they do this.
I think that's even worse than this.
That's worse. That's actually worse.
I think it's worse.
It doesn't look nice. So it's really about not trying to tell you what to do, or how to behave.
It's up to you.
It's up to you. How does it look when you do that? How do you think people perceive you when you do that? So imagine if you're the boss and you've eaten and your staff are like,
that's the boss. That's the boss.
Yes.
This is the boss who tells us off all the time.
Yes.
Look what she's doing.
Okay.
And it's a little bit. So this is it. With etiquette, it's the small detail that make the big difference.
Okay. So Janet, I know you mentioned this thing about discarding when you're done using.
Yes.
Quickly, how do we discard?
So we have a wooden toothpick because you can't bend or break a plastic toothpick. So if you have a wooden toothpick, it's very easy. Just to tell people that you've actually used it, right? It's easy. You just snap it in the middle. Once you've snapped it in the middle, you can snap it again if you have to. But let people know this is it. This is a discarded.
This is used.
This is used, and then you then throw it away in the dustbin, in the waste paper bin. Don't just chuck it on the floor.
And if there's no waste paper bin there, what do you do?
Then you put it by the side of your plate, charger, by the table. It's as simple as that. It's not by accident that you don't find toothpicks in some upper scale restaurants or hotels, because they also feel that it's quite, it's a social act that is not, it's very tacky. It's very tacky, and most times, even if you're going to get it, they'll probably give it to you and you're walking out. So I've been to a restaurant where I remember my husband saying, "Can I have a toothpick?" And the guy says, "We don't have toothpicks." It's like, and for him, it's like, "You don't have toothpicks?" And then I realized that there's a reason why they don't have toothpicks. They don't want people in their restaurant doing all of that. It doesn't. It just brings down the standard of the place.
In many restaurants these days, it's at the checkout.
That's what I'm saying. You're literally walking out with it. So you can do what you want to do with it outside that premises. They're trying to tell you we don't like using it within our premises.
All right, Janet, thank you very much.
If you have to use one of these, the good thing about these ones is that you're actually helping your teeth clean. Flossing it, putting mint inside it, you're helping your teeth. At this point in time, you're not digging something out. You're just drawing it out with a floss. And that's the good thing about these ones.
Okay. Thank you, Janet, for sharing with us tips on toothpicks.